Good evening, everyone. Hope all is well. Back onto this live session. So, today we've got a doctor all the way in the US who's going to be joining us. And let's send this over to him. Dr. Gary. Here we go. Wow, got quite a few people today. Anyone got any questions regarding health, medical? Do pop them in. Dr.
Hello,
Gary,
sir.
how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing? It's Murtaza, right?
Absolutely, you're right.
Nice to meet you, brother.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you so much for coming on this live, joining me in the mission to share the knowledge, spread the positivity, especially in what you're doing right now, with whether it's there, whether it's not there, I don't know what it is, but whatever you're doing, it's really good. So thank you so much for coming on here and to joining me in that mission.
My
Before we get started, if you can introduce yourself as to who you are and what exactly is it that you do so that people can get a bit more knowledge on your profession.
so I'm an internal medicine doctor. I specialize in, you could say, metabolic health or lifestyle medicine. I was trained
Okay.
Western medicine doctor. I've seen the sickest of the sickest patients. And sort of over the last 4 years, I've evolved my practice to be something which you would consider integrative medicine.
Okay.
You can medicine, but I try to avoid pharmaceuticals and really focus on teaching people how to live. I use supplements. I use
Rather than taking drugs, take is it something to do with what do you call it? Back home we call it sorry, I've just
okay.
lost the word. I've just lost the word. It starts with H. Homeotherapy.
Oh, homeopathy is
Homeopathy. Homeopathy. Yeah.
different. It's more in the realm of my naturopathic colleagues,
Okay.
like diluting chemicals and anyway, it's in that world. Mostly, what I believe is that people can be healthy. People are inherently healthy, and that you don't have to live on a bunch of pharmaceutical drugs. I think there's a role for pharmaceutical drugs if you have a lot of disease, if bad things have happened, in an acute setting, broken bones, acute infections. There's a role for Western medicine, but I think that when it comes to keeping people healthy and keeping people on the right track, it's not pharmaceuticals. It's healthy diet, it's healthy exercise, it's healthy lifestyle choices. I talk a lot about using acute stress to build your body as
Yep.
opposed to rest to heal from chronic stress, and we can get into that if you want. But yeah, my approach is just more open-minded, and I try not to buy into what I was sold in medical school. I mean, I was really sold a way of thinking, and going through it, it seemed to make sense. But afterwards, once I started really taking care of patients, it didn't, and it's so many times it just doesn't make sense. So
I
I
mean,
do.
I've personally stopped taking medicines. The only time I do take a medicine is like when I have a severe headache and I cannot get over it. I maybe not be able to sleep. So at that time, even I'll just take half a paracetamol or Panadol, whatever it is, just half of it to get past that. But that's it. I mean, when I have a flu or something, it's ginger, honey, and lemon and hot water.
Natural products. I do something called IV therapy, which is gaining popularity, which I think is a great way to get medicine in your body and without exposing yourself to pharmaceuticals. I'm a strong believer in things like vitamin C, zinc, very strong believer in vitamin D, which is becoming, with this COVID thing, there's
Yep, yep, yep.
overwhelming, and we still don't talk about it in the public. So, I've developed a way of eating. You can call it a diet. It's called Sapien.
Okay.
And if you know more about it at sapien.org, there we have an online kind of education program available, and I've been using that with my patients in my clinic here.
Does that diet involve rice and bread? I can't do it then.
Kind of paramount, right?
Yeah, I mean, In an Asian diet, in a Pakistani diet, rice and bread.
It's all the same though, Murtaza. Like so many people come to me, where I'm at, we have very diverse population. I'm near Calabasas, I'm in Woodland Hills, I'm in the Valley, and really diverse population. And everyone comes to me, my Pakistani diet, my Colombian diet, my Russian diet, all the same. Yeah. We in America have exported the Western diet to all the countries. So what traditional diet full of healthy animals and healthy vegetables and healthy carbohydrates has turned into rice, bread, and vegetable oil. And that's everywhere now. And now it's been long enough that we've been teaching people this or recommending this. It's been 70, 80 years that people forgot what our traditional diets really looked like. Yeah. And it was bread and rice, greases.
I mean, we've got the McDonald's, KFC's, Pizza Huts, it's all there. And I'm sure they are to blame, but then the people are to blame as well because they go to those outlets or shops or restaurants, to eat that sort of food. But, anyways, coming back to you, we got delayed with the conversation. Normally, the conversation that I have and the way I start is like, I'll ask you the question, and which I will ask you right now is, when you're growing up, and we're growing up as kids, teenagers, college going, school going, whatever it is, and we see a lot of careers in front of us. I mean, you must have thought about being a doctor at a very young age. So whether this question applies to you or not, I'll still ask you, what were you aspiring to become when you were growing up? I mean, seeing parents, family members, friends, uncles, aunties, what did you want to become? Was it a doctor or was it something totally different?
It's funny. I think on some level, I always knew that I would be good at being a doctor. My mom is a doctor.
Okay.
I always had the skills for it. And I think that I always aspired to be a rock star. I tried my hand at music and I really felt passionate about it. I guess to answer your question more directly, I wanted to feel fulfilled. I wanted to feel like what I'm doing is I'm passionate about. I have purpose. I never subscribed to this idea of doing stuff for money. I always wanted stuff that I was passionate about. I didn't realize how passionate I would be about medicine. It took a really long time to find my niche, my groove in this world of medicine. So I tried my hand. I mean, I published papers in Journal of Science. I did a lot of work towards a PhD in neuroscience, and it just wasn't for me. And then I tried my hand at music, and that lifestyle was a little too crazy, and it just wasn't for me. And medicine was always something that I knew I would be good at. I don't know why. I knew I would be good at it. And
I think it ran in your blood from the start, right? So you can't go wrong with it.
But to be honest with you, during training, I was disillusioned the whole time. I was always frustrated. I was like, what the heck are they teaching me? What is this stuff? Like, none of this makes sense. This isn't what I signed up for. And it wasn't until towards the end of my residency, which I did at Indiana University, and it was a really tough, intense internal medicine residency. And I started kind of seeing the holes. I started seeing that so many of my colleagues are interested in taking care of sick people. And we need that. We need people taking care of sick people. But what we were missing, and abundantly clear that we were missing this, is people taking care of healthy people and keeping them healthy and giving them meaningful recommendations. And then also end-of-life care. I found a real niche and a real passion for helping people die with dignity and helping people understand, relearn, remember that death is a part of life, and that doesn't always be morbid, and we don't always have to be sad about death. Death it's not going anywhere.
It's a recycling process, right?
Yeah, and I think that people have lost their way. We've been so focused on treating sick people, we've lost our way with healthy people and with dying people. We really don't even know how to tackle that. We don't even have words anymore to talk about it. When I bring up end of life care, it immediately is like somber and sad when it's not. You know, it doesn't have to be. There's ways
Yeah.
to think about it in a
But
very
do you think there are not enough people in the world to look after those two categories? Or we just don't look at that?
I think the incentives in training and the paradigm of education for doctors, at least in Western medicine, again, I don't know, like I'm familiar with American training and that's pretty affecting
I
other
mean,
countries.
I'm sure doctors get trained the same everywhere, same sort of, maybe the studies are slightly different, but then again, it's the same sort of ethics, the way you guys have to work, you know.
I think by money, right? So most doctors are trained to sell drugs and sell procedures because that's what makes money, right?
We have that here as well.
Yeah.
We do get that. We
The
do
UK.
get that. If I'm sick, I'll just stay at home. I can't even be bothered to go to a general practitioner and tell him that, look, there's something wrong. I rather just go on Google, type it up, and just find out what do I have and what's needed for it. You know, because over here, I've seen cases, real life cases, when someone's gone to a general practitioner and has not been recommended on time to a specialist. Sharing that knowledge, sharing these tips. It's been absolutely amazing talking to you. I think you're my second dog. I had a dentist and now you. So it's good to have a different variation of people coming on here. But before you go, we've spoken about knowledge, a lot of knowledge that you shared with us today. There's been a lot of negativity around us for the past year now. I mean, I just had a message a few days ago, happy first anniversary of COVID, you know. So it's been a long time. What positive advice would you like to share with the world today so that they can take that on board and whatever negativity they're dealing with, they can forget about that and move forward in life?
Yeah, I mean, I think that don't be scared. This, you know, the fear mongering is definitely a political tactic. Viruses and dangerous things have been around. This is nothing new. Sure, you know, there's a wave of fear that's coming across us, but control what you can control. There's non-modifiable factors like your age, right? But there's modifiable factors like
Your
how
health.
blood sugar, how much sun you get, what vitamins you're on, how much exercise you get, how much crappy media content you consume. Control those things. You know, get the poisonous content out, get some nature in your life, and eat right. I gotta say, it's like if I'm gonna leave everyone with one thing, people that eat healthy just do much better. People that
Yep.
don't are sick, like that's it.
Do you think eating at home, uh, that's 3 times a day, 7 days a week, let's say one Saturday or one Sunday you're out, but if you're eating at home, is that still counted as healthy because it's home cooked food?
I don't look at it like that. I look at food quality, right? And that's challenging, but basically I recommend an animal-based diet, healthy animal foods with healthy plant foods in addition to that, getting enough protein and getting enough healthy fat and avoiding processed food. Processed food in the form of carbohydrates that are processed and vegetable oils. You know,
So
we
I've got fresh salad and lamb curry on the menu tonight, so it's going to be good.
just skip the bread, the rice, and you're in business. And the last, you know, also intermittent fasting. I'm really a big believer that we're eating too frequently. Portion control is less important than meal frequency control.
As a Muslim, I fast like for a month, so it's okay. You know,
Look,
30
I'm
days.
fasting. The religion fasting, I think, is anchored in the understanding that you do not need to eat all the time, every day. It's not a real thing. So,
Super,
yeah,
we got a patient.
I think I do. Yeah,
Super. Thank you so much for joining me today, Dr. Gary. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Take care. And when you're in London, do hit me up. We'll meet up.
I